This is a generic animal cell. According to biology, humans are animals, so humans are made up of animal cells. These cells come in different shapes and sizes according to their function. Animal cells contain many different parts known as organelles or subcellular structures. Organelles are like tiny organs of the cell. For the exam, you need to be able to recognize these structures on diagrams and also state their functions. The definitions used here show the level of detail that you would be expected to give in your exam answers. So, can you name any cell organelles? Animal cells have a cell membrane, which controls which substances go into and out of the cell. This dark line surrounding the cell on our diagram is the cell membrane. This encloses the cell, and substances move across it to get into and out of the cell. In the exam, you would be expected to identify the membrane on a diagram like this one. So then, substances such as oxygen and glucose move into the cell across the cell membrane, and carbon dioxide moves out. If you are asked to give the function of a cell membrane in the exam, this is the level of detail expected in your definition. You don't need to memorize this gas exchange example in this context, but you will need to know it for other topics. The cell contents are surrounded by a jelly-like substance called the cytoplasm, but what does it do? The cytoplasm holds other organelles and is where most of the chemical reactions in the cell happen. This light red colour on our diagram shows the cytoplasm, which is mostly made of water. This blue structure floating in the cytoplasm is the nucleus, and this has its own membrane. The nucleus stores DNA and controls most of the cell's activities. Because the DNA is a series of instructions, it's this that allows the nucleus to control most of the cell's activities. In the exam, you could also use the term genetic material instead of DNA, and this would be accepted. However, although the nucleus is often commonly seen referred to as the brain of the cell, this would never be accepted as a description of the nucleus in an exam question. So then, what other structures are there in the cytoplasm? The ribosomes are the site of protein synthesis. These purple dots on our diagram show the ribosomes. These are a very, very small organelle. The mitochondria are the sites of cell respiration. On our diagram, this yellow and orange structure is a mitochondrion. This is the singular term for mitochondria, which is plural. This organelle is rod-shaped and has a double membrane. This characteristic zigzag comes from the folded inner membrane. The respiration that occurs inside mitochondria transfers energy from glucose for use in cell processes. So this diagram gives us quite a simplified view of an animal cell. How can we observe the details of animal cell structure? Animal cells can be observed in detail under an electron microscope. This is an image of a cell under an electron microscope. Usually, exam questions will get you to identify cell parts on simple drawings like the ones before, not on images directly from microscopes like this one. However, if you are asked to identify structures on microscope images, it would be easier ones, such as the cell membrane, the cytoplasm, and the nucleus. So then, the cell membrane in this diagram would be this dark line that runs around the edge of the cell. This arrow is pointed to the cytoplasm, which fills the inside of the cell and is what all of the other organelles are sitting in. The large dark blob that you can see at the bottom of the cell is the nucleus. And just up to the right-hand side of the nucleus is a mitochondrion. A little bit trickier to see, to the left-hand side of the mitochondrion are ribosomes. These are the small dark dots that you can see floating in the cytoplasm. They are much, much smaller compared to the other organelles. Make sure that you are familiar with both the structure and the function of each of these organelles because you might be asked about them in the exam.
Thanks for watching. If you want to take your GCSE revision to the next level, head over to launchpadlearning.com and check out our smart learning platform that's been designed to get you top results in your exams. We cover your whole specification and make revision fun with interactive quizzes, easy to follow videos and more. You'll be kept motivated by your own AI tutor who's here to support you every step of the way. To check it out for yourself, click here. Or click here to keep watching a selection of the videos from our full GCSE Biology course. See you there!